Shalom, shalom. It's your brother Warumia, back with another lesson, Lord willing. It be edifying. I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Waharakakadash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 men of the Lord you see on the highways and byways, prophesying the downfall of Babylon the Great in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Also, the correct doctrine of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Also want to send a shalom to the 1/3 men, women, and children that will escape the judgment of Yahweh Bashem Shah. Just got another lesson. As you see, things are speeding up. Prophecy is unfolding. Chaos is starting to happen everywhere. We had the high school shooter, which I think he put 4 people to death, 2 students and 2 teachers. And I think he had like 9 or so people injured. Then I see where the Russians had put 41 people to death over in the yellow and blue country, man. But they're stirring up civil unrest here. The time of Jacob's trouble is at hand. As you see more and more of these different takeovers of buildings and people killing over basically just thinking that the migrants are coming to take over their buildings. I see where Chicago they put 1 person to death. It was a migrant, Venezuelan, put him to death while he was walking. So you just see Esau stirring up tensions between the tribes, man. And this is all his agenda that he wants to bring forth. Now I had a couple of videos I want to bring out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. We'll hear some scriptures afterward because they're using their money to stir up the tribes. And you're going to see in this video. He says, listen closely as she explained what is happening in Chicago. See, this is the only thing they're doing is stirring up the tribes, man, because Jake think he should have reparations for what was done to the so-called blacks here in Babylon the Great. But let me let her speak.
No, $15,000 in food stamps and $5,000 cash money monthly. Every month they're getting that. Yes, and they're getting 6 months free rent. But this was the first time I heard about it. Now that I've heard is 2 years free rent, getting Section 8 first prioritized before the citizens.
So the Venezuelan migrants that are coming in here, they are getting 6 months free rent, $15,000 in food stamps, and on a credit card, $5,000. Cash. Oh my goodness. How do the people in Chicago feel about that?
Oh, people are angry because there's a lot of people, that need help with Medicaid and food stamps, and they get rejected.
Tell me about the people that you've seen on the streets collecting clothes.
By my house, there's a Walgreens. There's a lot of families that go stand by the door with a pamphlet saying they need money and food. And they're Venezuelans getting money. And then they go in the bus and don't pay. Go in the trains, don't pay. And they're not getting in trouble for none of the wrong things they're doing.
They can commit a crime or steal or something and nothing happens to them.
Nothing happens. They get away with everything. By my house, a car passed by. It said Venezuela in the back windshield. In the front windshield said Venezuela, and on the side of the window it said Chandel. And they drove by my house.
So there you go, man. So they let the people know what they're getting. And that's all Esau's tactics, man. He wants to stir the people up for them to come against each other. And anybody that knows about the American economy is pretty much done crash, man. They're holding on by a hair string or however you want to say it, man. They're holding on to their life. Because the economy is about to crash, man. They just had another little small crash, lost like $200-some billion out of their stock market. Yeah, I think yesterday A day before that, one or the other. But anyway, this place has no finances to give this type of money out to anybody, really, because they're dead broke for the most part, man. But they make money out of thin air, so they're able to get $15,000 in food stamps, man. That's ridiculous. Now, when I was coming up in the day, my mom got shit a couple $100 at that. You know what I'm saying? And shit, I remember coming up when I had my kids, man. I had a little food stamp. I'm getting like $200, man, and they barely wanted to give me that. But this story is what it is, man, because this is all this a jealousy tactic to get each of the tribes at each other's neck, man. That's all it is, man. The Venezuelans don't know why the Esau let them come up here. Jake don't know why Esau let the Venezuelans come up here. It was all for Jacob's trouble, man. Now, it's a small video. Play it real quick. It's basically the Venezuelans taking over these states, these capitals. And see, our people are proud people, regardless if you like the Venezuelans or the migrants or whatever. But our people are like a proud people of where they come from. Even Jake, man, you know what I'm saying? But the point is, they're using the tribes to go at each other, man, while they could continue to work on their agenda. And you got football season here. They got perfect plans, man, for what they're going to do. And it's a false flag coming, man, because that's what the FBI I forgot his name, the FBI guy. I don't know what his title was, but he kept bringing out terrorist attacks, this attack, that attack. So he's setting it up for something major to happen. While Jake is at each other's throat, he's letting his plans unfold. And it's all going to continue until Yahweh Bashim Yahushua comes, man. But check this video out.
Once again, I'm on the other corner of 61st and King Drive. This is the building alleged that they taken over. It ain't nothing but black people in these buildings. Ain't nobody taking over shit. We don't play that in Chicago once again. Stop with the fucking lies. I keep telling y'all. It may happen in Denver. It ain't happening in Chicago. Okay? At all. It's business as usual. We don't play that shit. Ain't nobody finna come and take nothing. Nobody taking over nothing in Chicago. So before this shit get out of hand, once again, 6124 South King Drive. I am here. There's no one taking over nothing over here. As you can see, it's black people in the building. It's all peace over here. We don't play that shit. Try again.
So he's claiming like he's going to defend the building, which, I mean, Esau, he uses media to rouse you up, man. Now, he thought that the people came and took over the building or whatever. That's what he's proclaiming. So he's going and showing you that no one is there. The Venezuelans haven't taken over the building. But that's the reason why Esau uses media the way he uses it. He uses it to rouse you up, man. Now, he would have never knew unless they put that. He would have never knew that building was supposedly taken over unless the media brought it out that way. So they're going to keep pushing this narrative against these Venezuelans, against you Jakes, just like they're doing in California, man. Now, the Black Caucus, you'll look it up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to have time. I worked a long day today, so I ain't going to look it up. But it's a Jake organization, and they are against, these boulets are against you regular Jakes. Because Esau is using these boule members, your elite of the society that's black, they use them as their dogs, man. Now I'm gonna play this video, and you're gonna see that what I think last week they was passing a bill to give the Venezuelans like 150 million to buy houses, and Jake was also supposed to be getting reparations, but they cut it off. So this is just a tactic to get the tribes against each other, man. You can see it plain as day. Just pay attention. And you can see what Esau is doing.
The leader of California's reparations task force is speaking out after state lawmakers blocked 2 reparations-related proposals. The California Legislative Black Caucus decided to withhold those bills from moving forward. That led to a big protest at the Capitol over the weekend, as you see here. That's what the video is that you're watching right now. KCRA3 Capitol correspondent Ashley Zavala spoke with the reparations leader.
Yeah, so Ashley, what does she have to say about how this whole session ended over the weekend?
In Golston and Lisa, Camila Moore was the chairwoman of California's historic reparations task force. That group wrapped up its work last year after spending years studying the effects of slavery, racial discrimination, and its impact on Black Californians. She says she felt betrayed by the Black Caucus after it decided to block 2 bills she says were fundamental for reparations. Emotions still high after this scene at the state capitol over the weekend.
It's Black people stopping their own people from getting their reparations.
Reparations supporters frustrated by the Legislative Black Caucus's last-minute decision to block votes in the Assembly on proposals that would establish a state agency and state fund for reparations. The Black Caucus divided, with some saying they were afraid of the governor's veto, while the caucus leader, Assemblymember Lori Wilson, claimed the bills did not have the votes.
I think what happened on Saturday was unconscionable.
Camila Moore led California's reparations task force that helped come up with these recommendations. She did not expect this.
What we saw was a complete betrayal by the California Legislative Black Caucus against their own constituents. They chose to prioritize their ego and their own self-interest over the people that they claim to serve.
It seemed like Democratic legislative leaders were hands-off about this. Do you think they should have stepped in?
I do think that the Assembly leadership, namely the Assembly Speaker, Robert Rivas, should have, intervened. In effect, he sided with the Black Caucus.
How do you, the advocates, the supporters, how do you all move forward here? What are the next steps?
The next step for us is to keep pushing to hold the California Legislative Black Caucus accountable.
We tried to get a response from caucus leader Assemblymember Lori Wilson at a different reparations-related rally that she was supposed to headline at the state capitol Tuesday, but she canceled her appearance. I tried asking supporters about the situation.
Do you have any thoughts that you want to share right now?
They dodged the question. Now, Assemblymember Wilson's spokesperson told us in part she canceled her appearance there because she did not want to detract from the importance of that rally. As we worked on this story, we also tried to interview California Secretary of State Shirley Weber, who wrote the law that launched the reparations task force years ago. She declined our request. We should note her daughter is Assemblymember Akilah Weber. She's another Black Caucus member who is under scrutiny for Saturday's action.
So you see it, man. The division has been made, man. And like I said, it's just a tactic Esau uses, man, to get you nations of people, you blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, against each other, man. That's his agenda. That's his game he's playing. But we know it's all biblical prophecy, man. And the Lord is not gonna. It's not gonna be sweet games and cookies and having fun and partying and bullshit and sweet times, or however you want to put it, man. It's gonna be total chaos in the streets here soon. A major event is gonna happen, man, and all hell is gonna break loose, man. And we keep telling you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, get prepared mentally and spiritually for what is coming, man. There's no going back to having good times and partying and bullshitting, and man, it's only death and destruction that's coming, man. And I'm gonna hit this point right here in Luke 12 in verse 51. It says, "Suppose ye that I come to give peace on earth." See that? This is Yahushua speaking. "I tell you nay, but rather division." See that? Everybody's going to be divided, man. The Lord is bringing division, man, because he's going to bring this place down, man. And it should be plain to you, this is all the works of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. He is tired of Babylon the Great, man. So he's finna destroy it from the inside out, man. The Lord set this thing up beautifully. And if you're not taking heed to the word, then you're not going to understand, and it's going to come on you unaware. This is Isaiah, this is Mark 3 in verse 23. It says, and he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? See that? How can Satan cast out Satan? He says, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. See that? This kingdom cannot stand, man. It's not going to stand, man. Because the Lord, he's dividing it, man. He says, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand, man. See, these people are divided against themselves, man. You have the especially when this Trump election hit, you gonna have Jake against Esau, Esau against Jake, rich against poor, poor against rich. You gonna have it all, man. The migrants against the Americans, the patriots against the man. All of them. I ain't gotta name every single thing, man, but you see it, man, and you see the Lord setting this thing up, man. He says, and I ain't gonna even get into that, man. I'm gonna make it short today because I had worked along today. I just not got off here a little bit ago, so I'm just gonna hit the points. This is Isaiah 45. Just hit a couple scriptures, man. I mean, we know them all, but we got to continue to go over just in case somebody else is watching it for the first time. This is Isaiah 45. In verse 5, it says, I am Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and there is none else. There is no power besides me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. So you're gonna see all this is the works of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Esau has no control over nothing, man. He's just forwarding the Lord's agenda that he had him to do, man. He says that they have not, verse 6, Isaiah 45 and 6, it says, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. I'm Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and there is none else. So there is no other power, man. You're not going to be able to escape this judgment, man. If you're not calling on Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, there is no other power, man, to turn to. That's why it's so important, man, to call on the right name, pray in the right name, do the will of the Lord, because there is nobody else. There's no alternative to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. 70 says, I form the light and create darkness. I create peace and create evil. I, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, do all these things, man. So the Lord is not creating peace. See, it's like, let me say it like this. If the earth is not in peace, then you see the Lord creating it, man. He's creating the evil in the division. He's creating the wars in this civil war and unrest. This is the Lord's hand at here, man. That's why you have to get right with the Lord, man. Because Yahweh told you he's not bringing peace. He's bringing division, man. Even in your very family, man. So get right with the Lord, man. Get right with the Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. Because the Lord the men of the Lord and the women of the Lord know these scriptures, man. We know the Lord is speaking to us through these scriptures, man. And we know what times we're in. This is Ecclesiastes 3 in verse 1. It says, to everything there is a season. See that? To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Dropping down to verse 8, it says, a time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. See, there's no peace coming. And we see wars at the door, man. Civil War and also World War III. So this is the Lord telling you what season and what times you're in, man. It shouldn't be no debate about, man. If you're not paying attention to the men of the Lord, the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone on down, you're not going to be able to stand in that day, man, because you're not going to know what's going on in the earth, man. Terror is going to be on every side. It's like it's going to be on Esau, man, because this thing is kicking up, man. This is the door to Jacob's trouble, man. The door that's opening is Jacob's trouble, man. This is Lamentations, and I'm gonna drop down to Lamentations 3, drop down to verse 44. Start at 43. It says, "Thou hast covered with anger and persecuted us. Thou hast slain, thou hast not pitied. Thou hast covered thyself with a cloud, that our prayer should not pass through. Thou hast made us as the offscoring and refuse in the midst of the people. All our enemies have opened their mouths against us. Fear and a snare is upon us, desolation and destruction. My eye runneth down with rivers of water for the destruction of the daughters of my people." See, 2/3 of our people, this is the time they're going to be cut off, man. Off-scouring. Salaki, I think I said it wrong. Off-scouring. Let me read it again. He says, "Thou hast cast, Salaki, thou hast made us as an off-scouring and refused in the midst of the people." A refuse in the midst of the people. All our enemies have opened their mouths against us. And that's 2/3 of our people can't see that these heathen are against us. Fear and a snare is come upon us. See that? The fear that the Lord is going to bring on you, and the trap that you're going to be lowered into because you're not turning to the Lord, man. So the fear and the trap is upon you, man. And I'm speaking of 2/3 of our people. Fear and a snare is come upon us. Desolation and destruction. That's what's coming to 2/3 of our people, man. It's clearly telling you who his people is right here. My eye runneth down with rivers of water, so crying continually for the destruction of the daughters of my people, man. This is where they're in, man. This is where they're going to be destroyed, man. The time of Jacob's trouble, man. Before the nuclear missiles, if they even make it to the nuclear missiles, man. So if you're not in this truth and you're on the fence, this is the time to repent and return to the Lord, man. Because the Lord is not going to hold back, man. You can just see the Lord for to open the taps and let this thing go full force, man. And you ain't even speak about the sicknesses, the plagues is coming that they're talking about is in your wastewater now. So, man, gird up, man. My eye trickled down and ceased not without any intermission, man. Till Yahweh shall look down and behold from heaven. So all this is going to happen until the Lord comes back, man. So 2/3 of our people are slated for judgment, man. And Venezuela are the Israelites as well, man, the northern kingdom. But you blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans here in Babylon the Great, you're slated for judgment as well, man. So, man, this is it. This is Genesis 49. And 49, and I'll start at 1. It says, "And Jacob called unto his sons and gathered themselves." It's like, "Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days." Dropping down to verse 8. "Judah, thou art he whom thy brothers shall praise." See that? All the tribes look up to you blacks in America, man. "Thy hand shall be at the neck of thy enemies," at Esau. "Thy father's children shall bow down before thee." See, all the nations are waiting for Jake to rouse up, man. So even though Venezuelans are going to be against Jake, you're gonna have you're gonna have some people, man, come together on different things, man, and go against Esau, man. But see, we're gonna see how it play out, man. We're gonna see how the Lord had this thing work out, man, because The Lord is making major moves, man. Verse 9, it says, Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art going up. He stooped down, he croucheth as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? See that? Judah's being roused up, man. So that's why you ain't get no reparations. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna get none of that shit, man. The Lord is using this to rouse you up, man. To stir his people up, man. Let me slow down. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh come. And that's Yahweh Shai, man. And unto him shall the gathering of the people be. See, the Lord is not going to gather all of us until he comes, man. And that's the elect. So all hell is going to be breaking loose, man. 2/3 are going to be judged, but 1/3 is going to make it through, man. And we're going to be gathered together and beamed up before the destruction comes, man, for the nuclear missiles destroy ground zero here in Babylon the Great, man. So Lord, when it was edified, I made it there. Shalom.